Hi everyone! Today we're going to do a sweet little owl drawing. You could use any colors you want for this and any little line designs you want to use, any little background. What are you going to do to make your owl drawing unique and just yours? Let's jump right into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a U shape where the top of the head will be. So we're going to do a little U here, and then we're going to do a giant U for the body. It's a big old U. I'm doing mine pretty big because I want a decent sized owl. Now I'm going to add 2 big circles for the eyes. And the technique to make it cartoony, like we talked about in other videos, we're going to do our pupils and add some white spaces. I'm going to do some pretty big eyes. Owls are known for that, so I'm going to go really big with these pupils. And I think I'm going to use 2 white spaces and fill in everything else. I hear the kitties in the background, they're playing. I was organizing all my art supplies. They are so happy. All right. So next I'm going to add a little V off the eyes for the beak. Now I'm going to add a circle off the bottom for the belly. Now I'm going to add a C on this side for one wing and a backward C on the other side for the other wing. I'm going to add W's for some feet. All right. Well, I guess it's the W with 1 extra bump. It starts with a W. All right, and I'm going to add some little lines for some ear feathers. Awesome. And now we're at the easy part, which is adding line designs and coloring it in. I want it to look like it has feathers, so I'm going to add some wavy lines to the belly. So I was just adding some wavy lines to the belly to make it look like it has feathers. We can also add some curvy zigzag lines to the wings for a feathery look. Awesome. So now it just comes the part where we get to color it in. Oh, hi Sammy. Do you want to help me color it in? All right, I'm back. I was just getting Sammy in his box because he wanted to watch me draw. So now he's all comfy cozy. I think I want my owl to have blue eyes, so I'm just going to do a little ring of blue around the purple, or around the pupil. There we go. And you could do any color eyes you wanted. All right, and now I think I'm going to do a yellow beak. So I'm going to color in this little area yellow. And I think I'm going to do orange. Little feet. So I'm going to color those in orange. There we go. And let's see. So now I have all the big areas to draw in. I think I'm going to start with my belly. Maybe I'll do some pink. One of the tricks to keeping this neat is trace the edges before you fill in the shape. That way you know where it ends, and you can go a little faster with coloring it in because you already know where you have to stop. So again, we trace nice and slow, trace those edges, take our time with that part. If you go over a little, it's okay. That's why we practice drawing. helps our hands be able to do all those little things we need to get our hands to be able to do. And then we color it in. All right. Let's see. I think I'll do some blue for the other belly area. Bring out the eyes. Coloring in neatly is definitely the longest part of this artwork. But that's also where you can really be creative. So what things are you gonna do? Are you going to color it in a rainbow theme? Are you gonna color it in realistic? Maybe you're gonna do lots of browns and yellows and oranges. Or are you gonna be like me and use wild colors? When you do the background, are you going to, you're gonna do something like a design, like polka dots or stripes or zigzags? Or are you gonna do something else? Are you gonna just draw an owl in the woods in its natural habitat? There's so many options. Remember, you're the artist. This is the idea. I'm giving you the idea. But then you tweak and change to make it just yours. Good art shouldn't be confined to exactly what the teacher does. Though if you want to copy your teacher, sometimes that's okay too. Maybe you want to practice and see if you can make something similar. I don't think anything ever ends up exactly the same. Lots of famous artists started by being an apprentice back in the old days, just copying what their teachers did. It's one way to learn. Alright. So now I just got the body left. Now the body of the owl is the biggest shape we have to color. Now since it's the biggest shape, that means you're going to see all of the marker marks more easy than with little shapes. So how you color in the body matters. If you color it in, moving your marker in every direction, you can kind of tell when you're drawing in this big an area. So what I like to do is be very organized when I'm coloring in this big an area. So I always start with my outline first, and then I pick a direction and I stick with it. So what that means is if I start coloring in the body in up and down lines, I go up and down for the whole owl body. If I start with diagonal lines, I use diagonal lines to color in the whole body. It's one trick that makes your art look neater. I'm also going to use the side of the marker because that's going to be so much faster. Because if I have it just up and down, we just have the itty bitty tip of the marker working for us. If I use the side, I get that whole big area helping me color in. I've chosen up and down lines, so I'm filling this in with all up and down lines the whole way. There we go. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Great, and it's almost done. Wonderful. Oop, and I went over a little bit. So this is a great opportunity to talk about what do you do with things like this? So that area was supposed to be all pure white, and I just got a little red into it. What can I do to fix it? I think one technique to fix it is going to be going with my black art marker. And I'm just going to make the outside of my pupil, or outside of my eye rather, not the pupil part, a little thicker. That way, I'll hide my little mistake. There we go. All right, so I could do anything to finish this up. You know, you could color in the whole background just as wonderfully as you did everything else. I think in the interest of time, I'm going to do things simple and add some swirlies. Start with some big pink ones, then I think I'll add some other colors. I wonder what you're going to do. Now I'm only using markers, but there's other things you could do for this too. How could you add your background? Maybe instead of using markers, maybe you painted this whole thing. Maybe you use crayons or colored pencils. Maybe you did use markers, but afterwards you glue on a few little details. I hope you have so much fun with this, because I know I did. All right, so there we have it, some sweet little owls, and you can see both of mine turned out very different. I hope you have so much fun and are so creative. Take care. Have fun.